Namaste, Jai Bharat. It's a normal saying everywhere that there is no transparency in geopolitics when it comes to the relationship between nations. Everyone looks for their own benefits, etc. Their own benefits, and no one is really loyal to anyone else. This is a common convention when it comes to geopolitics, which is by and large, to a great large extent, correct and true as well. Then, suppose what will happen in geopolitics when two, at least one set of nations, two or three nations, start trusting one another. Suppose they develops a relation that geopolitics is all right, but there are nations who would trust one another and they don't doubt one another. There's no suspicion one another. What will happen when it happens? So, the question reminds me of a story of my university days, roughly 50 years before. We were in postgraduate situation, and there were two friends. These both have apparently nothing in common. These two friends belong to two different departments. They belong to two different religions, if you speak of that. One is a Hindu, another one is a Catholic. And their competition used to be deadly. Positively deadly in the sense, if these two join together hands and go to do anything, they always come back with positive results. They have not accepted any defeat in any of the smaller endeavors, missions, whatever it is. They're still friends, very good friends. Both are married, the family separate, very good friend, and one had gone to become a senior IAS officer and retired. Another one retired as a university professor, and they continued to be friends in spite of all these apparent differences. One is a Hindu, another one is a Catholic, and then one is in the IAS, another one is in academic. They continued their relations, and this after retirement also they continue keeping in contact. And if when they go together, they always come back winning whatever they went for. This is a kind of combination which we have seen in our university days. Not many people know it, but those who know it, they know that the deadly combination of these two characters. Similar is the case with in geopolitics when two nations or more trust one another and they jointly work things. That could be very deadly combination. And I am speaking this in special context of two nations again, Bharat and Russia, and on the one hand, and Bharat and Israel on the other hand. Whatever may be the geopolitical stories of between nations, at least these three nations, they are not together, but one-to-one corresponds. The relationship between Bharat and Israel is very transparent, and they trust one another. Exactly like that, the relationship between Bharat and Russia is one-to-one correspondence. That's very transparent among them, and they trust one another. And when they join, the combination becomes deadly. These results are there out there in the world for people to see, understand. No explanations further needed. Recently, Russia is going to make their weapons in Bharat. Whatever, maybe missiles, aircraft, whatever, making in Bharat. It's a kind of joint operation. You have seen the results of Bharat-Russia joint operation, a missile, BrahMos. It's one thing which, of course, I need not to suppress saying that because everyone knows it. Way long back, again 50 years before, or even more than that, the Indian Air Force, I think, the Indian Air Force used a MiG-21 for the longest period, if I understand that correctly, for the longest period. And they continuously kept improvising. It was MiG-21, then Bharat has recreated a MiG-21 bis, etc., different versions came. And those aircraft were very successful in all kinds of operation, both peace and war. So this kind of, and in 71 war between Bharat and Pakistan, Bharatiya Vaisena, that's Indian Air Force, used one of the Russian transport aircraft for bombing. And the Russians were amazed. They came and saw what these people are doing, how they have used the Russian aircraft for bombing. They came, so I'm not going to give the details of which aircraft is used and how it is used. We have bombed Sargoda in 71 war with using this transport. Because those days Bharat, Indian Air Force didn't have bombers other than Canberra. So this kind of things happen when two people join. Like the deadly competition, two friends, they come with much success. Which are the contributing aspects from which friend and which friend is let it remain. Let's not go into the details. So of late, there are serious understanding between Bharat and Russia that they will make here our people will cooperate with their people and their people will cooperate with our people, and we have a program of Make in Bharat, we have a program of Atmanirbhar Bharat, and so many things could be made here, and these things are going to be absolutely deadly weapons with the efficiency beyond comparison for people. So this is something which is going to be in future. Similar is the case of the Israel. The details with Israel can't be spoken because even that much I don't know. But the combinations between these three nations, Bharat, Israel, Bharat, Russia, and when they join hands together, you do not know what's the result. And the results are very positive. Deadly for the enemies, but certainly not so for the friends. But the results are positive. A nation like Pakistan or even China, because the problem with China is no one trusts them and they trust none. Same is the case with the America. No one trusts them and they trust none. These kind of relations won't yield the kind of 100% results what we ought to aspire for, which is not the case with Bharat and Israel and Bharat and Russia. This case is classic, and for the time to come in future, the world is going to witness that. They join, but fortunately, these three people are not destructive. They have no ambitions to conquer the world. They have no interest in the neighbor's property. They have no border disputes with others from their own side. Israel is fighting for existence, and Russia doesn't bother about others until they are provoked. And once they are provoked, they won't stop. So this is an interesting situation when two friends, old university days, two characters with much differences. They supposed to be much difference, but they never had any differences. That's a different reason, different story. They supposed to have differences prima facie on the face of it, and but then they put their hands together. They always come back winning, whichever they wanted to, wherever they wanted to go. Same is the case with these three nations. Let it get registered in the minds of people for good understanding. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.